Hello, everyone. Welcome back to In the Yard Podcast with your host, Collin and Braeden Cox. As we record here on Thursday, July 17th, All-Star Weekend has just wrapped up and the season is resuming again tomorrow. So, Braeden and I are going to give you a quick little All-Star break debrief, talk about the Derby a little bit, talk about the All-Star game a little bit, and then, preview the second half of the season, give you guys some hot takes and what we think might happen, if the standings will change, who's going to win MVP and everything in between. So, stay tuned for that. But Braeden, how you doing?
Doing great. Great little all-star break that we had here. Missing the sport at this point.
Yeah,
Missing watching my Yankees on a nightly basis, but it was definitely a good little all-star break. I'm excited to talk about that as well as
yeah,
second half predictions.
yeah. So let's start with you want to start with the home run derby,
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to me to talk about here. I think
right?
the favorite won, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
which
Cal Riley.
some people would say, Braden, that's a little suspicious. The favorite one. That was a
Who's
rumor going
saying that?
around. It's
Really?
the fact that like how that one round came to like it was Cal Raleigh
Oh,
and
yeah, and Brett
Brent
Rooker.
Rooker like and they had like literally like, inches of difference in their highest home run, and so then Cal Raleigh
Yeah.
ended up advancing, and Brent Rooker was left out of the second round.
Yeah,
People are
yeah. I
people
mean,
are doing conspiracy theories on it, but
but what does the league get out of that?
betting's everywhere now.
If it were Ohtani, if it were Ohtani or Judge, maybe. But we're talking about Cal Riley in Seattle and Brett Rooker in West Sacramento. These aren't big market guys. I don't know how much
it's
truth there
it's
really
more like
is to that.
it's more of a gambling thing. Like people think that the sports
Oh,
books were in on it,
see, you
like
can tell
along the
I'm not a bettor.
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
not on the
neither am
DraftKings. You
I,
can
but
tell
that's
because
what
I
I've
never even
seen.
thought about that.
That's what I've seen on the internet. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of trying to uh, go with the consensus.
So if that doesn't happen, then it's what? It's Brett Rooker versus Junior Caminero? Or am
Yeah,
I
something like
screwing up
that.
the
But
rounds?
basically, I think it basically comes down to the fact that Cal Raleigh probably had the least amount of bets or what have you. Like for
Yeah,
some reason, the
sure.
sports books would lose the least amount of money if Cal Raleigh won. It's like something like that.
Hey
But I
man,
mean, I don't really want to get into it.
there might be something to it, but at the same time, like I'm not gonna sit here and be like,
Yeah,
you know, Cal Riley didn't deserve he leads the league in
right.
home runs and he's
Yeah,
on
I
pace
agree.
to at least tie the AL record. I don't know exactly what the pace is at right now, but he's really good. So like, you know, I'm okay with it. Even
Yeah,
I know I don't think that it went to that extreme. That would be kind of crazy, but it
yeah,
is funny that all of a sudden that they're able to measure, you know, 421 feet versus 420.4 feet or something. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
It's
Like we're
because
talking about a few inches.
it's based on the formula of the pitch coming in, and then the exit
Yeah,
velocity and the launching. And that's how they determine it. I don't know what the
yeah.
formula is, but that's how they do it. So for some reason, Cal Rowley's
Was
formula
just that
calculation
much
was
better.
just that much higher, according to baseball. I think it's who is it, like Google Cloud now, like Statcast.
Yeah,
But people were saying it
maybe.
was a little superstitious. But I don't want to get into that too much. I do want to talk about the Derby a little bit, just the format. I just think it's too long of an event. Brandon, we talked about this earlier a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Um, I don't know what I haven't really thought of ways to fix it. Maybe go back to the outs thing, but just do like 8 outs instead of 10 or 7 instead of 10, something along those lines. I know people are starting to not like the timer so much because like the guys are gassed and there's just like it's like a kind
Yeah.
of like a more of a rush thing. But I mean, I just think
What's
I just think
what?
that they have to make the first round shorter, like you said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somehow.
What would be more enticing to you? Fewer participants or shorter rounds? Because would
Shorter
it be
rounds.
possible?
Shorter
Because
rounds.
would it be possible to do something right? Because they get even amounts right now. They get four from the AL, four from the NL. Right when they
Mm-hmm.
do it, they split the league in half. Could they maybe do something like six participants and the AL, like whoever of the people who choose to participate, right? Because you're not going to get the guys who lead the league in homers, right? Right. could you maybe get of that group that is selected or chooses to participate, whoever leads the league in homers at that moment gets a first round bye?
That
Is
maybe,
that
yeah.
maybe because that you know what I mean?
Like I don't know how they determine like the order, like they do it. Probably
Right. So the
some way
first
like
round
that.
would be two in the AL versus two in the AL competing, right? And then the winner of that plays whoever has the most home runs in the AL that is participating, right? In this case, it would have been Cal Riley, would have gotten the first round bye, and if he gets by then he gets automatically to the final, something like that. That's like something I thought about too, but I feel like the problem with that is you're not getting the guys who lead the league in homers to participate. Like Judge wasn't the, you know what I mean? Like the guys
Right.
who like I feel like nowadays, right? You're not getting the guys who lead the league home in homers at all. Like I feel like Cal Riley was an asterisk on that. Like he just
Hmm.
so happened to participate and leads the league in homers. Usually
Yeah.
it's other guys who are hitting home runs, but not at, a 38 before the break
Yeah.
clip. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I do agree though that like the event shouldn't be like 3+ hours, right? It
Yeah.
shouldn't be 11 o'clock and it's
Hmm.
like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, it's entertaining, but like once it gets to like the sixth batter, even in the first round, like I can totally see people losing
Yeah.
interest and being like, okay, hit me up in an hour when we're talking about who's in the final.
Yeah. I thought my another complaint I have about it is I thought the broadcast was bad too.
I
Did you
agree.
notice that? Like
I
the
agree.
split
And I didn't like the
screen
camera
and
at all.
the
The
camera work
even
was
camera.
awful. The camera
Awful.
work was absolutely terrible. I don't know why they
And
didn't
is
go
that
back to
just
the
an
old
is it
format.
on ESPN every year?
I want
It's like ESPN.
since I've been tuning in, it's been on ESPN.
I just like I remember like a few years ago, like
ESPN just
it
is
was
so bad at broadcasting
it used to
baseball.
be
It's so bad.
cinema, bro. It
Yeah,
used to be like lit.
like
It used to be so
when
cool.
Judge did it and Pete and Bryce and all them like that's when it was more fun. I feel like, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
because you'd see the ball hit and then it would pan to the ball and it was just like everything. But now it's
Right?
like they're trying to get both at the same time and
Yeah,
it's like it's too hard to
too much
follow.
going on. Yeah, no,
It's
I
too much
agree.
going on. And
Um,
it takes away, I think, from the experience overall. So I'd agree
yeah,
100%. I think, you know, definitely needs to be shorten it. I don't know how you do it. If you go down to six participants, I'm totally cool with that. If you
yeah.
just shorten the amount of time, I'm fine with that too. But I think it needs to turn into like maybe a 2.5 hour event at the
Hmm.
most.
Right. No, two max. Shouldn't be more than 2 hours for that. Like, come on.
Yeah. Because there's a
But yeah,
lot of
that's all I
time
gotta
in
say.
between.
Yeah, and
So
you gotta consider the advertisements and the timeouts and all that
yeah.
good stuff. But yeah, I
So
think I don't want to dwell on the derby too much. You know, like it's fun. It's a
yeah.
fun event overall. But yeah, I just think to make it better, they could adjust some things. All right, let's move on to the All Star game. I thought that was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. NL was up six
Agreed.
nothing. Everyone's talking about how good the NL was, but
Yep.
then the NL came
Yeah.
back, tied it, and then ended up going to a swing off, which was I thought was pretty fun
Yeah.
overall. So yeah, Braden, give me your thoughts on the All Star game overall, and then top it off with the swing off. Like, give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah. I mean, I thought overall it was really entertaining and something I actually really enjoyed that I think is like so minor that they did different. And I hope going forward they do this is they wore their actual team jerseys. They used to do that, but
Right?
then they spent the last few years like having like a designated American League and National League jersey. And like I think that's cool, but there's just something that I like so much better about
Yeah,
like seeing Kyle
it's because
Schwarber.
like you're repping your team.
You're repping your
And
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
and half of
Like
the All Star jerseys have been ugly overall the past few years anyway. So
yeah, the ones that they had at Dodger Stadium where they were like, I don't want to call them black, but like it had like the gold font. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so.
But anyway, you can, look it
Yeah, I'll
up when
look it
I'm
up.
done. Um, but those ones were good. But like even like the ones that they wore during the home run derby, I was like, I'm not really into this. I'd rather they just wore their actual jerseys. And it was cool that they did that this year. But yeah, it was a cool game overall. I got no
Mm,
complaints. It was exciting, right? Like you said, the NL was up big. The AL kind of stormed back. It got to a swing off, right? So we finally got to see that. Um, and it was largely cinema. I mean, Schwarber went yard on every pitch he saw. I mean, you can't really deny it there.
Yeah.
It was also interesting to see the what do you call it, the ABS challenge system. Like
Yep.
that was like the first time in a,
I don't know
I
why they
guess they
don't
were
use
doing
that
that
in
in
the league,
spring
dude.
training.
Like
Yeah,
it
I
has to
mean,
be here next year because
it's
like it's so
it's good.
fast and it's so efficient. Like it's insane.
Yeah, because I mean, if we can see it on TV, it's like they've got way more technology on their side that
Yeah.
they can like tell you for sure whether it's a ball strike,
Right.
whatever it may be. So it was interesting to see that play out. It was just a good All-Star weekend overall. I got no complaints.
Yeah.
Um, so and then it was
Congratulations to Cal Riley for winning the
Schwarber.
Derby.
Yeah, yeah, and then it was Schwarber versus what's his? I always forget his name. The guy on the Rays. Um,
It was Jonathan Aranda, which
Aranda. Yeah,
I thought was an
an odd choice.
interesting
Choice.
third pick there. But I mean, like was it like a volunteered thing? Was it like the managers like just picked a couple guys? Like
Yeah,
I don't know how they chose them, but I thought that was an
yeah.
interesting pick, like over Judge or Riley
Well,
Green.
well, Judge was out of the game at this point, right?
But
So Judge,
was that
like,
confirmed? Like he like left or he just was subbed in?
oh well, I think once you sub in though, they can't come back in.
I think he would be able to for the home run for the swing off
I don't.
though,
I think I have a
right?
feeling that's why they chose him. That because he was in the
Nah,
game at the time.
I
I don't
maybe
know.
Boone just
Like,
didn't want to like be like biased, so he didn't do Judge. I don't know. So it was Aranda and who else? Who was the AL? Oh, Rooker, Brent Rooker, right?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then um
I forget who the other one was, but besides the
it was
point,
Rooker, and then Pete, and it's Pete Schwarber, and who was the first one
who
for
was
the
the other
NL?
one? I'm blanking. I'm totally blanking. I gotta look it up now. Hold up. All-Star game tiebreaker swing off. Uh, I can't believe I'm blanking on this.
Schwarber. Oh, okay, here we go. I got it. Oh, it's Kyle Stowers from the Marlins
Yeah,
was the
and
first one,
Suarez,
and then
right? Wasn't it Suarez?
no, it was Arozarena. So there's two,
Oh,
or
Rosarena. Yes.
Arozarena
No,
was
not.
the second, yeah, and then Aranda
I
was
forget
third.
the order.
So
Aranda definitely went last because he was the one who got out. Yeah.
yeah, because he couldn't tie it up. Like he couldn't even tie it up because I think we all wanted him to tie it up so then Pete Alonso could like walk it off, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Suarez was announced, but then it was Kyle Stowers. That's how it happened.
Okay,
It was originally
interesting. I wonder
supposed to
why
be
they did that.
Suarez, and then they I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
He
because
didn't feel like
Suarez had
doing
that
it.
little injury in the game, like he got hit by a pitch. Maybe
Yeah,
that's something to do with it.
probably.
Um, but
So
yeah, no,
I
go ahead.
okay. No, no, you're good. That totally makes sense.
I was gonna say,
Um,
so would you give me your thoughts on implementing this in real regular season games? Like, would you
I
be a
would
fan of it? Would you not be a fan of it? Do you think they should stick to the way they're doing it now with the Ghost Runner? Like, what are your thoughts there? Because I have mine.
I feel like I'd love to see like how many since we've done the Ghost Runner, which is how many seasons now? Three?
I think 2021. I think this is the fifth.
Okay. So let's
Or am
just
I
say
going
five.
crazy?
It
No,
even if it is
COVID. It
three,
was a COVID thing, and I think they just kept it after that.
you're right. You're right. Okay. So since COVID, I'd love to see the number of games that went beyond 12 innings. Like, give me the exact number of games that went beyond 12 innings since they implemented this, right? I think I could get behind it if it's for like once you get past the 12th inning kind of deal. Right. I
Okay.
think the Ghost Runner is fine because I feel like that the game does get over with most of the time. You don't see many games get beyond like 11
13,
innings,
14,
I feel
15.
like
Yeah.
now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is totally fine. I could understand doing it if it gets beyond then now. So, yeah, but I feel like even if you do implement this, like you might see it two or three times a season. And I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't do it in the postseason.
So that you can't have in the regular season and not do in the postseason. I feel like you got to stick with it. You got to stick with it.
Yeah, but could you imagine like a game seven World Series and it comes down to a swing off?
That's true. So then maybe you shouldn't have the regular season at all.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
mean,
know though. Maybe. I see what you're saying.
maybe.
I would go away from the Ghost Runner for the 10th and then do Ghost Runner 11th and 12th. And if it goes beyond the 12th, then do the swing off.
I think that makes it too complicated, though. I think then you're like, oh, well, in this inning we do this, in this inning we do that. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm fine with the Ghost Runner in the 10th inning.
I don't love the Ghost Runner, but that's just me.
Oh, I don't love it either, right? But I feel like if it's here to stay, I don't think that you can like change it unless you get rid of it
Yeah.
permanently, right?
Yeah.
But I think the game would have to get beyond a certain number of innings. Like you'd have to play like 3+ innings of extras to be like, okay, we're gonna
Right.
do a swing off.
There you go.
And
So
I think that would be like,
we're kind of on the same page.
yeah, I think that would be like it would be kind of cool to see live. I'm not gonna lie. Like, imagine you're at the game and it comes down to that, and Boone has to go up, and he's like,
I don't think I'd like it.
Judge, Stanton, Jazz, get up there, and then you're playing whoever, and
That's
they have to
another
put
thing
their
too.
three.
It wouldn't be three guys. You would choose one,
You're right.
and they get three
You would choose
outs,
one, and then yeah,
right?
probably, yeah, and then maybe if it gets beyond, like if both of them hit 3 home runs, and maybe you have to pick the next guy,
I don't
and then
know.
you do another thing.
The more I think about it, the less I like it. I just think it's silly,
No, of course, I
gimmicky.
agree. I yeah, I agree. But like for games that get like to like beyond the 12th inning, I could see teams doing it,
Yeah.
right?
But then think about the losing team. Like you play 12 innings of, good baseball, competitive baseball, and you lose on a swing off, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I mean, right now it's you play 12 competitive innings, and then there's a ghost runner on second, and somebody hits a bloop single, and that guy on second
Yeah,
just happens
that's
to be fast, and
true.
it's over. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
It's how do you fix it? It's always going to be a problem because it's
Yeah.
always going to be double-edged sword either way you look at it. So,
Right.
um,
Or you know, maybe like hockey system and do like points, and then if you like make it to extra innings and you get a point, kind of like that. No, I'm just
too
joking.
complicated.
Yeah.
I think it gets too complicated.
All right. That's
But
all I got.
anyway,
That's all I got on the All Star
yeah,
game. Fun weekend. Hopefully, Brady and I will be there next year while it's in Philly. That'd be cool.
that would be sick.
During so
That would be
festivities,
sick.
but we'll let you know. And if we do make it out there, we'll have a lot of content for you guys. Um,
Lots of content.
I think
Send
we
in the
have to.
yard to the All-Star game.
Yes. All right, cool. All right, let's move on to second half stuff.
Yeah.
So, we have our standings. Our Yanks aren't doing so hot. Um, and there's some pretty big surprises. First half of the season, I didn't think the Braves would be 10, was it 10 games under 500? Um,
Yeah.
and I didn't think, I wouldn't expect.
The Orioles would be as bad as they've been.
Yeah, I didn't think the Orioles would be this bad. I thought the D-backs would be a
The
little better.
Tigers, the Tigers, arguably the best team in
Yeah,
all baseball
in
right
the
now.
league. Yeah, might be. I think the numbers might be a little inflated since they play in the AL Central. I wasn't expecting the Guardians to be
So
this bad. I had them winning the division. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, Brayden, give me your one second half hot take that you'll have. It could be, a guy winning MVP, could be a team winning the division, it could be a World Series team, whatever. It could be a trade. Give me one hot take that you think will
I mean,
happen in the second half.
I wrote a couple down. So if you're gonna make me pick one, and I
Well,
think
you could do a
uh,
couple, but just give me one for
well,
now.
this one I think is my hottest one. And I kind of came to this because I was looking at, okay, who are teams that have like had a lot of injuries, right? And are getting players or at least expected to get players back, right, in the second half? And what are teams that have like largely easy strength of schedule? So my hot take, Colin, is I got the Guardians making the postseason.
Whoa, that's a hot take. That is a hot take.
They they
Dude, I
were
think they're going
six
to
and
be sellers, dude. They're going to be sellers unless they string off 10 in a row coming out of the break here.
hear me out,
Wow.
Colin, though. Hear me out, Colin.
I'm hearing you out.
Their first 15 games out of the break, 3 games at home against the Athletics. 4 games at home against the Orioles, 3 games on the road at Kansas City, 3 games at home against the Rockies, 3 games at home against the Twins. Rattle off a 11-4 record there.
But they're 21 and 37 against teams that are above 500.
I
Like,
get
I
it.
don't know, man. I mean, I love the ambition you have there. And you're right, they're only 3 games under 500.
They're
I mean,
only, and look how many games are out of it, bro. They're
but
not
like,
out of it. The Mariners are 51 and 45, and they're
let me look at the
46 and
wild
49.
card.
They're only 5 games out of that
You know
last
what? I
spot right
mean,
now.
I like it.
Do you
Like, yeah,
trust
four
the
and a half now.
Mariners? Do you
Do you?
trust Tampa? Do you trust the Rangers? Do you trust the Twins? Do you trust the Angels? Do you trust the Royals? Do you trust any of those
Yeah.
teams?
No, you're right.
Do you feel like
I
the
I think
Guardians are probably better than all
I
those
like
teams? They
that.
were in the
I
ALCS
like
last
that.
year.
You know what? You talked me into it. They're good. They're a
Listen,
good team.
you asked
They
for a
need
hot
it.
take.
They need some
That's the
starting
hot
pitching.
take. Would I ever bet money that the Guardians make the postseason? No. They lost 10 games in a row and they're 46 and 49. But right before the break, didn't they swept Houston? Right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I mean, that might be a little bit, that might be a week before the break, but regardless, they played better baseball towards the end. And all this is contingent on if they have a really hot start out of the break, which those
obviously.
few games, those few
Yeah.
series to start the second half, you've got
Yeah.
4 home series.
Any of these
They've got the
teams,
easiest strength of schedule in the second half. Who knows? They're
any
getting
of these
Shane Bieber
teams,
back, aren't they?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure his
I
timetable,
think.
but I don't know. Like, any of these teams could just rattle off some wins coming off the break, and the next thing you know, they'll be buying at the deadline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And like I mentioned those 5 series out of the break, right? Then they do have a 3 game set against the Mets, right? But then after that, at the White Sox, hosting Miami, hosting the Braves, at Arizona, like you know what I mean? I'm not looking at this and I'm like,
Yeah.
they're not besides the Mets, like in the second half, yeah, they got Seattle. Like I'm not saying that they're gonna be perfect or anything. They got Detroit a couple times in the second half, but like I like where the schedule has them, and I know that they struggled mightily the last month, right? They're 6-4 in their last 10. I like how they really need to capitalize in the next, you know, basically by August. If they can, like I
Yeah.
said, rattle off
Because
10 and
it could
5
all
or
go
something like
downhill. They
that,
could
all of a
lose 10 out the
sudden,
break. Yeah.
and like you said, the AL Central is kind of like weird. It's like Detroit is really good, but then other than that, it's like everyone's either mid or below mid. And
Right.
like I'm like, this team was in the ALCS last year and they didn't like lose anybody, you know,
Right.
tremendous who did they lose in the offseason? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I don't know. I just of all the teams there, I was like, I trust them the most, even though there's 7 teams with a better record. So I'm gonna go Guardians make the
I like
postseason.
it.
That's
I
like my
like it.
bold hot take for the second half.
I like that for a hot take for bold prediction. That's solid.
Yeah,
All right, Brandon. We have around 8 minutes here, so I'm gonna give you
yeah.
my first one. I don't even know if this is really that much of a hot take because I did say it at the beginning of the season. And Braden, this team hasn't lost a game in July. They traded away
Oh
their
no,
franchise player,
don't
and
do this
next
to
thing you
me.
know, they're in the wild card spot, one game
Don't do
behind
this.
our Yankees. I
Hmm?
think Braden. I think the Red Sox are going to win the AL East. I just can't see them slowing down. They found their identity. Garrett Crochet's dealing. Um, I guess they knew more than us when they traded away Rafael Devers, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I know he's still trying to click in San Francisco, but I just can't see them slowing down. Winning 10 in a row going into the break has to feel really good. And I'm sure they're well rested and they'll come out firing. I'm not sure. Can you give me their strength of schedule for the second
I
half?
don't I don't have the strength to schedule up exactly, but I'll give you the first 5 series, and it doesn't look pretty. At Chicago for 3,
I
at
see
Philadelphia for
Philly
3,
and
hosting the
LA.
Dodgers for 3, at Minnesota for 3, hosting Houston for 3.
You know, that's a
So
test for them. If they could
it's a test.
rattle off a
If
couple of
they,
series wins there, I'll be. I don't want to say bought in. Chapman's freaking dealing as like a relief
of
guy all of a
course,
sudden.
of course, of
Um,
course.
I just
Are
think
you even surprised?
no,
I
not
I
at
mean,
all.
I think that's a hot take, but I don't think it's like. I think it's reasonable. They're three games
I think
out
it's
of
reasonable
they're
too.
3 games out of it. Let me ask you this though, right? You have Boston winning it, right? Are you are you bought into Toronto? Are they making the postseason? Or do you think
That's a
that
good
this is
it's a good
smoke and
question,
mirrors?
Braden. It's a good question. I definitely trust the Red Sox more. I feel like the Blue Jays in the past
Okay.
have collapsed when they're in
Okay.
this position. But
Yep.
the Blue Jays are really good too. I don't know. I could see them. I could see the Blue Jays and Red Sox battling for the one spot. I could see the Yankees getting
Over the
thrown in there for the
Yanks?
one spot. I think
Okay.
it's a
What
toss up.
about
I think,
Tampa?
a month ago, see, I'm not buying Tampa,
I'm
but
not
maybe I
buying them
should.
either, but
Maybe I should.
maybe the
Because
AL
a month
East
ago, we were like, oh,
is
the
the
Yankees
mosh
got
pit.
in the bag. They're 8 games ahead of everyone. And next thing you know,
And here
Yankees
we
lose
are.
a couple. They go in their little June swoon, they're calling it. And next thing you know, they're behind the Blue Jays. They're only 1 game up on the Red Sox, and I think 1.5 on the Rays.
Yeah,
But I
so
don't know. I can see
they're two
it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fun to follow that because it went from being a weak division beginning of the season to like now three of the four
the
teams or
mosh
three of
pit
the
of
five teams
greed.
would be in the playoffs. So it's like
Yeah.
it's just I think it's gonna be fun to watch. But I think the Red Sox come out on top, and I'm partially biased because I did predict that to begin the season. So I'm just gonna stick with it. So
That's fair. That's fair. I got two more, but
all right, two
I'll
more.
these will be rapid fire. I'm not gonna really
Yeah,
give you
rapid
too
fire.
much on these. The first one is he's second in odds right now in the NL. I think PCA is gonna win MVP.
Oh, that's funny because I had that same. That was my other hot take too.
Really? I just
PCA
feel
when
like
yeah.
I just feel like the Ohtani train, like it's still there roaring hard, and he could totally have the second half of the season like no other, right? But I feel like PCA, all the momentum's there, and the Cubs are good,
The thing is,
and
Braden Ohtani is starting to pitch again, so that's
this
gonna
is
really
true.
affect PCA.
This is
That's the
true.
only thing. I think if Ohtani was still out, like couldn't pitch for another month or so, it'd definitely be PCA. But now Ohtani's getting a couple innings in. If they ramp him up a little more, I don't know what their plan is for Ohtani pitching wise.
Ohtani's
But
having a
I do.
great season, but
I
he's
like the
not.
PCA MVP take. I was gonna throw that in there as well.
Yeah, that might not even be too much of a hot take. I mean, I just Ohtani's having a great season. Of course, we all expected that, but I think you could look at it as like, oh well, who's got the higher WAR, right? I'm sure it's
Yeah,
PCA, right?
I think right now it is. Let me check.
Like the voters might be like willing to bite on PCA if he's like,
Especially with his
the
defense,
better
it's
player, he
definitely
just doesn't
PCA.
pitch. He's the
Yeah.
better player this year, he just doesn't pitch. You know what I mean? So, um, I had that out there, and then the other one I had was also in the NL. Um, I'm kinda, bro, I don't want to do this to them because I feel like I do it every year and they screwed up when it gets to postseason. I'm kind of bought in on Milwaukee.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if I
For
could
the
pick them
Central
to,
or for like making a run in the playoffs.
like, in years past. I mean, like, I think last year's an exception where we saw a team, like, top teams who got like buys make the World Series. But like years prior, we've seen teams who were in the wild card make a run and
Right.
they feel like, and maybe it's just because they
Maybe
were
that's what
like
they
eight and
needed.
two in their last.
Maybe they need to be more of a dark horse team instead of like the NL
that's
Central
that's kind of
high
where I'm
seed.
at is like
Okay.
it's a way different environment. Like in the past years, they've had the home field advantage at home, the home field advantage, and they've lost at home in front of their home fan. Like it's awful, right? But it's like I don't know, like if you told me like you're gonna get like Brewers in Philadelphia or at City Field, I'm like, yeah, I think both of those teams are better. But it's like if the Brewers were to get out of that, they'd be one of the last teams I'd want to see,
Right.
right? Because they can pitch.
They can pitch.
They can,
They have
yeah, they have a
experience.
and they have a fantastic, I mean, they're 500 on the road and they have a fantastic home record,
Hmm.
right? So it's one of those things that like I think they just need to like win a series in the postseason. And I feel like they could be a problem,
Yeah. No, I agree. They have to
right?
kind of break that curse, break that ice there. They haven't been able to
Yeah.
get over that hump in a couple of
So
years.
those would be like my three-ish hot
Yeah.
takes. I don't
I'll
know. I would
throw
definitely say that the Guardians is, but the other
yeah.
ones are maybe not too hot.
I'll throw in one more. I kind of just kind of just came by the top of my head. I'm also sticking with the NL Central, Braden. I
Okay.
think the Reds make a run for the playoffs. I think they sneak in. I think they might make a couple moves at the deadline here. I think
Wait a
Ellie De La
minute.
Cruz is going to step it up even more. They're 3 games above 500. Let me look at the
Seated
let me look
now.
at the wild card.
Let me tuck in my chair because I'm seated now because
We have 1 minute
I got
left,
it.
Braden, but
No,
they're
you're
two and a
good.
half games out of a wild card spot right now.
Yeah, but
You're telling me
who
they
are you
can't they
taking
can't
out
go
right now?
get hot? What's that?
Who are you taking out? Who are you taking out? Like, are you saying the Padres miss? Are you saying the
You never
Brewers
know.
miss? Are you
You
saying
never.
the Mets
I don't
miss?
think it's the Mets. I want to say it's either the Brewers or Padres. If I had to pick,
Whoa.
I mean that's a hot take. Would I bet
Whoa,
on it?
that is a
Absolutely
hot
not.
take. I
Would
like
I
it
bet on it? But
though.
they're
I
only,
don't,
they're only 2.5 out, and we've seen them make a second
that would
half
be
run a couple
that would
years
be
ago.
that
So
would be awesome if they made it.
yeah, who they?
Wow. Okay. Okay. I mean, go and get another. Go get a starter.
Yeah, it's good.
Go
Andrew
get
Abbott
another
having a great
bat.
season. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go
I
Reds.
like it. I like it. This is great. This
All
is
right.
a great episode. That really
Yeah.
got me. I was not expecting that.
That was kind of off the top of my head. But thanks everyone for listening. That wraps it up here. Hope you liked our takes. Let us know your hot takes in the comments and comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time.
See you guys.